Good evening, YouTubers. Fiona's just outside. She's finishing off her cigarette and she was listening out, and she just called me and said, come and listen to this. And it's an owl. Just heard it again. But I've not heard an owl for years and years. Must be amazing living on a farm, you know. I've always wanted to live on a farm. We went on holiday and stayed on a farm. And I remember it was in Scotland, and when you came out the farmhouse at night, it's just black. There's nothing, and you think, "Wow!" Waiting for my eyes to adjust to the darkness, and you can hear the bats swooping about, but you can't see nothing.
Have you told them there's an owl out
there? Yeah. I've just said you were finishing your fag, and you said, "Come over and we can listen to this owl."
He's still twit-to-wooing, and then as he was twit-to-wooing, I heard a little bird in our garden, and I'm wondering if it's a baby owl, and that because it's been
in the lemon tree?
No, it maybe fallen
Oh.
from a nest or something, and it sounded like a little baby owl, and it was really close to me.
I really don't know about
put the
owls'
light on.
nests, because they used to try to encourage owls in barns, didn't they? When they built the barn, they put proper holes in the bricks.
Mice, you see,
to encourage them, and they used to make areas for them to nest. But I don't know where owls.
Flying cats, really, aren't they?
Yeah, they keep the mice down.
Hey cat, there's an owl out there.
She said, I don't care.
She's too lazy.
Don't care. I'm full. Too many cat treats.
I'm really enjoying this crime show we're watching at the moment.
Yes, it's amazing the patterns that. It's explaining. I mean, but this is going back years. This was the early 90s. They were solving crimes in American crime shows, and they're showing how the police solved the murders.
Really,
and there's patterns. There's recognisable patterns in the.
What I've found interesting about the last one is the disputes between the officers, how to go about it, and. I really agreed with the guy that was strong all along. I mean, he was just a straight down the line cop. This woman confessed to a murder just to get her ex-boyfriend. Well, she tried to get her ex-boyfriend lived up for this girl's murder.
Yeah.
And she was in her 60s. And then for some unknown reason, she went ahead and confessed she'd been there.
That they both killed her.
Yeah, to try and get the boyfriend extra into trouble.
They both got lifed up. And so that just shows how people, horrible people, like, are so twisted that they'll quite happily get sent down themselves to send the person they hate down.
I don't think she thought she was going to get lived up. I think she thought that by saying she was there when he murdered her and stuff, and she put the rope round the girl's neck, I think she thought she was not going to be in trouble. But and then this journalist found out there'd been other murders, and then another guy came forward saying he'd done it, and he had done it. And
4 years later, half a dozen murders later.
Seven
murders.
Seven further murders now. So and they let this woman out, and I think she should have stayed in prison for the rest of her life because
telling lies.
She did that on purpose. She got her innocent ex-boyfriend locked up for life. 7 further murders could have been prevented had it been for that lying old.
If the police were following the evidence and weren't listening to liars, maybe they could have caught the real killer before he killed 7 more people.
It was very interesting, the relationship between the one cop who really liked her, but this other cop that was straight down the line. He said she was manipulative, she was manipulating these police officers, playing on their emotions, and he was really angry that she was let out, and I agree with him.
I think she should have gone down for perverting the course.
She should have stayed in prison at least another 5 years for what she did.
Got re-sentenced to include the sentence that she just had. So then she won't get any compensation. Then
how many other people to reach the age of 62 and do such a terrible thing?
Well, you get liars on the internet all the time.
How many other people's lives did that woman ruin?
Yeah, if she goes to those lengths just to nail someone.
I'm going to get her name up.
Like.
I'm going to get this up.
It was 1990.
Smiley face killers.
Happy face killer or something.
Happy face killer.
He was the one who actually did it.
She was called something like Pavanac.
Was it America or Canada? I think it was America. 1990.
And I mean, the guy who did it...
The woman who got murdered was Tracy Bennett. No, not Tracy Bennett. Tanya Bennett.
The man who actually did it was Keith Hunter Jesperson.
That's it, Happy Face Killer. Just been watching it. We watch these detective shows at night sometimes.
Yeah, I'll get her name.
But there are patterns. There are patterns in behaviour. I mean, they're all talking serial killers because no one's interested in internet trolls, are they? I mean, people are interested in like serial killers, and they had that other one, the sniper. Do you remember him? He was laid down in the back of the car with his gun sticking out the back of the car, and he would just be popping people at random. They did him as well, and they showed us how they found that guy and arrested him. That was just a real weirdo.
Keith Jesperson was a long haul truck driver. They quite often are, aren't they?
Truck drivers are well dodgy, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I can't find a woman's name.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
But I mean, I think
anyone who's interested can Google it and they'll find them.
That's a classic example of thou shalt not give false witness, which is one of the things I was talking to HG about today. And
10 Commandments, wasn't it?
I had a bizarre experience last night, for anyone who didn't see. There's this girl who's got a YouTube channel, and I became aware of her in January, and she's been making videos largely talking about me for the last year. And she was doing a live last night, and I just someone phoned me up, made me aware of it. I jumped on and said, right, Michelle, can you drop a link and we'll talk about it? And after having been on her live, which it was a really good experience actually, because suddenly a whole load of them, I don't think they're trolls. I think they are very gullible, innocent people who have been lied to by a very manipulative and, in my opinion, dangerous person.
Completely taken in.
Yeah, who I won't name. And as the live was progressing, and I said, I'll answer any of the questions that you've got, and I was answering them completely honestly, that it began to dawn on them. What I couldn't get over was how innocent they all were. That when I explained about catfishing, that you're not necessarily talking to a girl, or it could be someone very dangerous, an online predator.
Of course.
That had not occurred to them, and they all seem to have something in common, which I've realised. They've all been damaged in some way, either by SA or violent relationships, violent partners. One lady actually has revealed her identity, which I think is very dangerous because she's just come out of. She says this could be another, catfish. That might not be her, but I'm inclined to believe her because she seems quite desperate. She wants everyone to know who she is, but she's come out of a very violent relationship, if she's to be believed.
Yeah.
And they all seem very vulnerable women.
So it's possible that the troll has somehow infiltrated a group.
Yeah.
A therapy group, if you like, of women who are
vulnerable,
and they've been talking about being abused.
This is another thing. Diane Durham, on many occasions, before I knew who she was, and I thought she was some big guy, killer guy, playing a catfish game, she used to say that she had been sexually abused, beaten up, or had been in a violent relationship, and that she has huge sympathy with other women who've been in violent relationships. And she's continued that theme. Now we know who she is. And I'm thinking, well, she's now got that in common with these other women, including the lady that runs the YouTube channel.
Michelle.
And I'm thinking,
Did she ever
Yes,
abusive?
I've watched her lives, and she has referred to the fact she has had a bad relationship in the past. I don't know what. She's never specified it. She just said that she has, I don't know if it's SA or violence or what it is. But then I'm thinking, so Diane's got this in common as well. All these women have this in common.
I wonder if they're all in the same group somewhere.
Or are they just, because that type of person is really vulnerable, they're drawn to...
Gullible. So there's some people out there that manipulate people, and they really can easily manipulate people into believing, even as we saw on this crime show, can even manipulate the police into believing a crime's been committed when it hasn't. Yeah. Well, the crime's been committed, but not by these people who they've convinced did it. It's so easy to manipulate people if they're not on guard, not guarding themselves.
I can't wait to see the HG Tudor thing, actually, because it was really...
Yeah. When's he putting it up?
I don't know. It was really interesting because he was suddenly starting to unfold and say, actually, that would happen and that would happen. And it was like we were exploring all the possibilities, like murder.
Yeah.
Well, I won't give anything away because that's his.
He's obviously a very
that's his
intelligent
thing.
guy,
It's-
you know, he's obviously had a very good education.
Yeah, stop it.
Well, it's obvious by his posh voice, isn't it?
Mm.
He can recall words that I would have to look up.
Hugh Grant, you mean?
He's not Hugh Grant. It's
He might-
definitely
he
not
might
Hugh
be.
Grant. No, it's not.
Anyway, yeah, it's a lot of stuff seems to be falling into place for us as well. Pieces of the puzzle are coming together,
And
and
yeah, we're seeing repetition. We're seeing a pattern emerging, and you can recognise it in different troll accounts. You go, oh, it's you again.
yeah,
You know, and
it's called syntax.
syntax.
We all have a syntax. It's like a fingerprint. It's individual to each person.
So no matter what different persona they adopt in these troll accounts, you can tell it's that one person.
Especially with particularly unusual syntax. Yes, yes, you can. I mean, I feel a lot better about the trolls. I don't feel now that they're all a bunch of evil killers, which I did at one point. You know, I don't know who the hell these people were.
Your mind plays tricks, but once you realise it's just a sad loser in a bedsit.
Well,
You know.
after participating in that live, and then I watched it back, I suddenly started to realise why for at least a year they've all been calling me a liar, which has driven me crazy because I'm not lying. And it's because this manipulator has been saying, oh, so-and-so was arrested, so-and-so's going to be arrested. And they've clearly been lying.
A lot of these documents that have been put up on the internet from the police or to the police, from the
they're
police,
fake.
with redacted things, we've had them analysed, and the analysis has come back. It's all been pieced together
Yeah, it's glued
on
together.
Photoshop. They're all fake.
And it's to manipulate other people into believing a particular...
Other people are easily manipulated. They think, oh, that's a real screenshot from an apple, and it wasn't.
I said on a live, I believe that a lot of people probably came onto YouTube from Facebook. And the whole point of Facebook is you have your face and your real name, and then you have all your relatives and your work colleagues. Absolutely lethal. I mean, it's a stalker's paradise.
Oh yeah, I don't do Facebook.
And I think that they've come from that environment into YouTube, X, and so they take people at face value.
Yeah, if someone comes along and says, "Oh, I'm 21. My name's Mandy, and I've got blonde hair and huge boobs and things," you know, it could be a baldy killer who's in his 50s on the other end of it, going, "Oh yes," typing with serious intent to harm people. You know, you don't know that it's really a girl. This is the whole point of it, you know.
And I mean, there are people out there with serious mental illness. This guy who finally admitted to being a serial killer, the smiley face dude.
Well, they actually banged him to rights for one murder, and he thought, "Fuck it, I'll just admit to all the rest."
Yeah, he was quite straight.
Because he wanted the publicity, the smiley face killer or whatever he was called.
I think I got
happy
the
face killer.
impression he just wanted to explain it and do the right thing because he said at one point, "I don't think I'm right in the head. I don't think I was thinking straight. You know, I don't know why I did this."
This woman was rude to me during sex.
And it reminded him of his ex-wife.
That's why he beat her to death and strangled her. And I thought, oh, she was rude to you. Okay. Loads of people have been rude to me, but I've never strangled anyone to death or beaten them to death.
Well, no, it's not a laughing matter, either,
No,
is it?
it's not laughing. It's not funny.
No.
But, you know, loads of people.
But I'm the most angry with the old woman for saying...
For lying.
And those 7 women could maybe have been saved. Because of her lying tongue. And I think she should have done... she'd already done 4 years in prison. I think she should have stayed another 10.
Well, she set the other guy up. The other guy went no comment. And
I know,
she said,
was...
oh, yeah, we both killed her. So they both got sent to prison for life.
And he was completely
and the other
innocent.
Guy, he had alcohol problems. He wasn't a...
Paragon of virtue.
Yeah.
Who is?
But he went no comment, and he still got lifed up on her testimony. And I think, whoa, she should be nicked.
Yes.
Rearrested for lying and given 10 years.
Yes, definitely.
Easy
and
10 years.
And you will not hear us advocate for prison sentences very often.
No.
But she is one evil hag. And I do think, who else's lives has she ruined in her 62 years on this planet?
Yeah, but getting away from murder, I mean, that's as extreme as it gets. But just in general life and in general sort of internet interactions, how many people are telling lies and shit stirring and are out there, then they're just
yeah.
purely because they're jealous of someone who's got a military cross.
Yes.
You know?
Well, oh, I can still hear the wise old owl.
I think we'll go and sit in the garden and listen to
Yeah,
see if we can see where it is.
I saw today a heron standing on the back of a horse. I should have taken a picture.
Oh, here?
Yeah, I went to Chino's and I went along Millionaires Row. And there's a big piece of land they're obviously getting ready to build a house on, and they put a white horse on it. And this heron was standing on the horse.
Oh, you should
and
have
I
got a
stopped
picture.
and looked, and the horse looked at me as if to say, "What are you looking at?" And I just thought, this is bizarre. Anyway, I felt
Well, we've never heard an
self-conscious.
owl here before, have we?
Never heard an owl. That's so cool. And we've got our own pet heron in the marina. He's kind of gorgeous.
It's also if he's very fleeting though, you try and get a picture of him, he's gone. So we've got to be very lucky to catch him.
He's lovely. And a little kingfisher
Yeah.
we had at the back of the boat.
We
as
quite
well.
often get cormorants.
Yeah, we get loads of them all the time. All the time. Yeah, let's go and listen to the owl.
Good night, and may your God go with you.